Okay, welcome back to this Singer Model 6618. Again, a very rare model born back in 1936. One thing I want to show you real quick before we launch into a leather sew-off is the workspace on this bed in comparison to a featherweight. Again, I talked about in the introductory video that this machine has a unique turbine type drive shaft that really maximizes the output of that motor, which is the same size as the Singer Featherweight. But another advantage to this machine is also the workspace as well. So I'm going to take this tape measure and just show you a couple of measurements real quick on this 6618. Going from the far right to the far end where the needle would be, you're talking about 14.5 inches. Now, if we were looking at a featherweight with the bed folded down, you'd only be coming to this point right here. So you're gaining, while it's not dramatic, you're still gaining another 2 inches on the overall bed length, which could make the difference depending on what project you're working on. Another nice thing is that the bed is quite wide on this 6618. From front to back, you're looking at almost 7 inches. And then the harp space as far as vertical clearance, see if I can get this down there, is going to be close to about, there it is, close to about 6 inches, probably about 5 3/4. So again, when you're talking about vertical clearance on the harp, if you're looking to rotate material or turning different projects while you're rotating them underneath that needle, that vertical clearance is very, very significant compared to a lot of the other Singer machines that are out there. All right, now we're going to focus on this leather sew-off. This is, as usual, a very thick grade of genuine cowhide. Hopefully the camera can zoom in real tight and you can get a real clear picture of just how thick that material actually is. And while we're talking about a machine that has the same size motor as the Singer Featherweight, and I wouldn't recommend trying this type of sew-off even on a featherweight that we serviced necessarily, but on this one, the difference again, that turbine type drive shaft that powers the needle really does do some pretty dramatic things with that motor amperage in driving home that stitch. Okay, so enough talking, follow me down to the needle and I'll show you what this incredible machine can do even with cowhide leather as thick as this. And again, we're talking about a thick piece of genuine cowhide leather. All right, here we go. I took that intentionally slow so you could see the difference that drive shaft actually makes. I mean, we took a sewing project where a lot of people would race through something like this at a very controlled rate, and the stitch quality is just as gorgeous as if we had just ripped through it at a high rate of speed. Look at that stitch quality. The spacing, the formation, everything about that stitch is just absolutely picture perfect. And look at again, if I rotate it like this, the thickness of the leather that we just went through. I mean, that is ridiculously thick. And as we rotate it around, you know what? As beautiful as that top stitch is, that lock-in stitch is just as gorgeous. This machine I would call the little brother to the featherweight, but it's got a big punch.